Hello, hello, hello. Hey, y'all. We are here doing the whole H&R Q&A. We are we're here going live again. It's going to be all things HR. I have a couple of questions, and the first couple of questions are about a toxic work environment. The second question that I have, and I actually have three questions, but the second question is about should I change my job for money or should I just look for something better? Um, and then the next question is if you're feeling stuck and uncomfortable because of money, what do you do? So I'm just going to go ahead and jump in with these questions that I have, and you guys are welcome to put whatever questions you want in the chat. I really appreciate y'all showing up every week. Not sure how long we'll do this, but I definitely want to be available to you guys so you can ask me any HR related questions you want. If that's interviewing, if that's finding a job, if that's compensation, like how much they're offering you per hour or per year, if that's negotiating that amount, if that's benefits related, you're going out on a medical leave, or maybe you have a workers' comp injury, even if it's just, hey, I'm getting ready for retirement and what do I do? So I'm here for all things HR. I have worked in HR from every spectrum of recruiting all the way until resignation, termination, unemployment. So the entire employee life cycle. So let's jump into these questions. The first question is, and I thank Shell D on IG so much for these questions because she sent me spit out three of them, and I'm so happy. So let's jump in those first. If you're on here, just tap in the chat and let me know, Shell D, that you're on here. But the first question is, how do you feel with a toxic work environment? Sorry, I read that all the way wrong. Well, not all the way wrong, but I read it a little bit wrong. So it says, how do you deal with a toxic work environment? And my thing is, what makes that environment toxic? And that's going to tell you how to deal with it. So is it toxic because of your coworkers? Is it toxic because of your direct leadership? Or is it toxic because of a combination of both? Or is it toxic because maybe your work conditions aren't safe? So that's a good thing I want to always start with, because when I start offering individualized sessions, it's going to be so that I can ask you guys these questions so I can give you specific answers. And so most times the toxic work environment is because your coworker or your supervisor is really getting on your nerve and you feel annoyed working there. So if it's your coworkers, you definitely want to have a talk. I would first start with a conversation with my coworker and let them know I feel uncomfortable and I wish that you would stop doing X, Y, Z, because this is making me not like being here. And if you can't stop doing it, then I'm going to go ahead and report you, if that's the HR or your supervisor. If your supervisor is a toxic work environment, then you definitely want to reach out to HR. Again, I would talk to my supervisor first and let them know what makes me uncomfortable. I get it though. That's very hard to do. A lot of people are uncomfortable talking to their supervisors. Hence the reason I'm never in favor of, whenever you're doing anything to evaluate your supervisor, particularly like performance evaluations or maybe even in a 360. Now, the person that's being evaluated should be evaluated from all levels around them and not above them, down. People aren't ever comfortable with that stuff. So if you're in a toxic work environment as with your supervisor, I would try having that conversation and I would try documenting it. So I would first put that in email. Now, if you have a great relationship with them, you might damage your relationship by starting with an email. You might can just do a simple conversation. Me, I try to do conversations. But if you have already tried that, that's not working, then do it by email. If there's no resolution, then I would get a notebook and just put the date on the side of it. And each time I felt uncomfortable or each time something happened that made that work environment toxic. But at the same time that I'm doing that, if I'm not seeing action when I'm reporting this from the channel up, so I already reported this to my coworker, no change. I report this to my supervisor, no change. I report this to HR, no change. Okay, at that point, if I'm not at a comfort level with other people, then me personally, I would start journaling every time I felt uncomfortable. Every email I print it out, throw it in my journal. Don't keep that journal on the job. Take that journal home. So something should happen, it's in a protected place. But I would just journal that stuff over and over again, and while I'm looking for a job. Now, if by chance you get terminated for this toxic work environment, you already have it documented as to how you can sue this organization and get compensated for whatever, they call it like a tort or what have you, for whatever you've suffered from this experience. So it's super duper 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 important. And you never know. Someone else may be feeling the same way that you feel, and they trigger a class action lawsuit. That way you already have all this stuff documented by the dates and a quick like two-liner of what happened and who was involved. And now you can get compensated for feeling uncomfortable. But always start with a conversation. You know, the whole suing and litigation, that is like a last resort. I think your ultimate last resort is that, and before that is just, resigning or possibly facing termination. But I would just start with a conversation and like set a dialogue on how you want to move forward. So if they're doing something in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, tell them how, hey, listen, I need you to stop doing this and moving forward. This is what makes me feel more comfortable. Cool. All right. So I don't see any more questions in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead with the next question, which is, do you stay at the job for money or find something better? I got a friend of mine, and his favorite line always rings in my head when people ask about that. His favorite line is, I go with the highest bidder. So I would honestly go with the highest bidder. I would be like out of there. But I mean, I've had experiences where like I've had other jobs offer me a job. Like I went and interviewed with the job, got the job offer. And when I went to resign or say, hey, this is what I'm experiencing, like I've had, I want to say two different times in my career where like I got offered more money. Like they countered and were like, no, we don't want you to go with another company. And especially when it's like a good environment, you're a good employee, you're working really well. I've had like, I believe two different times where I've got offered more money and I stayed. So if it's not a toxic work environment and you're not uncomfortable and you feel like you know the job, you're producing well, they have a great culture, a great mission, and you're elevating in the job, then I honestly would go with if whoever's going to offer me more money. So if this new job is saying, hey, this is what I'm going to offer you, and this other job ain't bouncing back to meet that offer or exceed that offer, I'd be gone. And definitely when I say offer, I include everything. So I look at benefits, like how much money is coming out of my paycheck for premiums, how much, what kind of person benefits am I getting? Are they paying for like my gym membership? Are they paying for my cell phone? Are they paying for other things for me? So I would definitely like go with that. So look at your entire compensation and see who's offering you more and make sure you're comfortable doing the job and look at who you can have a long longevity with. If it's someplace you can see yourself being for a while and they're offering you more money, I would stay there. And I would definitely research that other company that's offering you more money. Because sometimes people offer you more money because they can't keep people. And so if they're offering me more money, I would go on like salary.com, glassdoor.com, go on LinkedIn, reach out to their employees, follow the company on LinkedIn, and kind of see what that culture is like. Because sometimes you get more money and you get there and you're miserable. So now the grass had looked greener, but none of the other grass looking even better. Like they fruitful over there after you already left. One more question, and then I'm gonna go in the chat to John Small's question. And so the last question I have is, what if you are feeling stuck and comfortable because of the money? Oh, stuck and comfortable. Oh Lord, that's an oxymoron at work. I'll say this. If I'm feeling stuck, and I'm gonna try to jump on IG Live too so people can jump on here. If I'm feeling stuck, then I don't feel comfortable. Like, so I'm a little lost. Shelby, I need you to like give me more of an explanation of that. Like comment on the bottom of this live once it's posted or jump in this chat and tell me what you mean because if I'm stuck, I'm not comfortable. So help me understand kind of what you mean. I mean, if I'm comfortable financially, but I feel stuck professionally, then I would start an aggressive saving strategy and save so that I can like have enough money to live on if I get so uncomfortable. I'm like, okay, I'm out. But also while I'm looking for another job or just in case I have to accept a job that may offer me a tiny bit less. So let's say I'm making 80,000 now, I gotta accept this job that's giving me 75,000. Then you have money that's already saved so that you don't feel that impact immediately. But also budget, adjust your finances. But me personally, and maybe it's because I'm a millennial, Um, it's all about like comfort for me, lifestyle balance, and I'm not like the baby boomers who are all about like, oh, stay on that job for 20 years because that's a good job. Meanwhile, I'm coming home miserable and mad at people every day and talking about work all night long and how they can change stuff and I can't take this and oh my God, they gonna miss me if I'm gone. Like, just miss me when I'm gone because I'm not about to be miserable for 20 years. So I'm a little confused on that question, but definitely jump in and let me know what you mean. So y'all, I'm just pulling up my little live with IG so that folks can yeah, y'all, we live with IG. I'm showing them how y'all look on here. Okay, so that people can jump on whenever they're ready. And I'm trying to keep track of the time. Y'all, this is all a one-man shop over here. But I thought I had a setup going on. It didn't work out. Okay, cool. So the next question. So John had a question, and his question, April, jump on YouTube. Sorry. So John's question is, should I settle for a lower salary so I can get more retirement benefits? That depends. Now, I wish I had known you because my answer was going to be the same anyhow. My first thing I would totally say is it depends on how old I am. How much time do I have to save? What kind of what kind of retirement options are they giving me? Do I have money I can roll over into this bucket? Or do I have like 401k as well as an IRA option, a simple IRA option? Also, maybe if I'm at 50 or above, you automatically get that catch up money. So every year, most of us in the world, everybody that's under 50, 49 and younger, we probably can contribute. I think this year is $19,500 the whole year into retirement. But if you're over 50 years old, the government says, no, you can add another 1,000. So, I probably would look at the options on retirement. Is it state retirement versus private retirement? Do I have money I can put into it? Can I be aggressive with it? Does this salary, maybe I don't have it in my bottom line salary, but I get a lot of bonuses and compensation that allows me to say, okay, I'm not living on my permanent salary. So if I'm not living on my lower salary and I have like quarterly bonuses or annual raise or annual bonus or monthly incentives that I'm getting, like a lot of times, like in the world of HR, recruiters get extra money. So they might come in at $50,000 a year, but every single month or every single week, they get a cut of how much money the company has received on a salary of somebody they hired. So sometimes you get that money on a weekly basis. Sometimes you get it on a monthly basis. Sometimes it's based on a contract position. Sometimes it's based on a direct hire. Sometimes it's based on somebody that's temporary. And whatever that rate is, the company already agreed that they have to receive so much of that money. And so if I'm living on that, a lot of times recruiters will be like 50, 40, $50,000 a year. But at the end of the year, they already took home $90,000. So they almost like doubled their salary. Or, over double their salary because of all of their incentives. So if I had that opportunity, yeah, I'm gonna take a lower salary because I know I'm gonna have all of this additional cushion money where I can push into my retirement really quick. And then I can be really aggressive versus sitting conservative and let that money double up, double up, double up. And then I would also look at, instead of just doing, so if I have a lower salary, then and this place offers retirement benefits, how many retirement benefits do they offer? So let's say I made $100,000 a year and I know I can only put 19,500 in for 2021, but I really want to put 40,000 in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put money into my pre-tax 401k and then I'm going to put money into my Roth 401k because those 19.5s are not combined. So I can put 19.5 here, 19.5 there. By the end of the year, I'm already at $41,000. And so I probably would look at that. And how much is the company contributing? I mean, is the company matching me dollar for dollar? Are they telling me that they're going to cap me out at 3%, or are they capping me out at 6%? So I would pay attention to that too. How soon can I get in? Can I jump into 401k or whatever retirement in 30 days after being there, or do I have to wait a year? And how soon is the company putting money in? Are they putting money in as soon as I walk through the door, or 60 days in, or when my benefits start as far as like my health premiums? Are they putting money in after I already been there for a while? And what's that while look like? Can I only make changes on a quarterly basis? It's a lot that I want. So sorry, that was long. I've been all over the place. Y'all have me in my zone. John had me in my zone. Y'all got any more questions? It's a few of y'all on here. Nobody have any questions? If y'all don't have any questions, then we're getting off at 7:30. And so, um, I'm gonna just toss out a couple things. Right now, just like how it is totally a buyer's or seller's market with the houses, right? So right now, if I go to sell my house, I'm gonna get way more money for my house than what I bought it for, and I'm gonna have a ton of offers out there. So it's so a seller's market right now, right? So with it being a seller market, it's the same thing or the same principle with employment. So many people have left work for so many reasons. So many people have like mortgage assistance, rent assistance, not being evicted. So they're not paying like their monthly mortgage or rent. They've got food stamp assistance. They've got unemployment assistance. And then on top of what the minimum is that they normally get, there's more racked on, right? So COVID already caused people to get all of these different benefits. And so a lot of times, some people are truly either taking this time as a time. I notice that a lot of people are taking this time as a time to say, okay, I'm going to start my own business because they have a financial cushion right now, right? If they're not doing that, then they're being super strategic about jobs, and I can't tell you how many just aren't showing up. Like, you have to make sure that you know that while you're looking for a job right now, 9 times out of 10, all employers are betting on you. If they really brought you in for an interview and they brought you in for another one, 9 times out of 10, they are strapped in, or they could have already been ghosted by employees. They could already have people come and go, a high turnover all of a sudden. So make sure that you're paying attention to how much you're asking for at the gate: benefits, retirement, salary, PTO, holidays. Ask for this stuff at the gate because right now it is an employee market. So the example or the scenario I gave y'all was buying houses, right? So right now it's a seller's market. Okay, that's for buying houses. Anybody who's gonna get money right now is not gonna be the person buying the house. It's gonna be the person who's selling a house, right? So guess what? It's the same way with the employee and the employer. It is an employee market right now. If y'all just pay attention while you're driving down the road, everybody got non-hiring signs. It's so crazy because it reminds me back in the like late 90s, early 90s, when it was like a help wanted sign in everywhere. So you look in the gas station, you look in the restaurant stores, like, I mean, it's crazy how people are doing recruiting. You look on the news. Yay, I was on the news yesterday, or was that yesterday? Yeah, yesterday on Live 5 News. That went well. But there's so much. Even if you go, let's say you're here in Charleston or you're not, and you go on Facebook and you look at Abigail's Facebook page. I mean, she's rolling jobs constantly. Like, I'm begging her to say, hey, post mine again so it can be at the top. And if you pay attention, these jobs are shared so many times. They have so many comments. It's because these people, these employers are at the mercy of you. Go sit in a restaurant, see how long it takes you to get a drink, see how long it takes you to get some food, and see how many times that server probably gonna forget because she probably got a whole section that's way too much for her to handle or him to handle. And so it's totally an employee market. So as y'all applying, that's why I said don't apply and put all your eggs in one basket. Apply to a bunch of places so you can compare things like the culture by looking at Glassdoor, salary.com, LinkedIn. You can compare things like benefits, like retirement. How much are you putting in? How much are you paying towards my premium for health insurance? Like, this is all your time to step up a game. Ain't no reason why nobody should be out here and you get out of this thing in a year or two. And at the end of the day, you looking at, oh my God, I still making the same amount of money, or I'm making less money. Unless you totally committed to that organization and they've been treating you well for a long time, and maybe they had to lay you off a little bit with COVID and stuff like that, then I get it. But if you're out here looking for a job, like, you know, make sure y'all get everything you're looking for right now. It's your time to kind of step up. Um, Anybody have any more questions? All right, Andre. I tell me if I said that right. Andre G 2111. Do you think I could get an HR manager position or HR generalist position with not much HR experience outside of learning and development? I do have my Master's of Arts in HR and my SHRM CP certification. Yeah, I don't see, I think it's easy. Let me just go ahead and say yes. But again, the same thing I just left from saying right before you put in your question. Apply everywhere because it's totally up to what the hiring manager is looking for. And so many times I have seen or experienced or been a person where I have this whole concept of a shell of a type of employee I want. So I want somebody with, definitely HR manager experience. I want somebody with, if they don't have manager experience, I want them to have generalist experience. And I want them to know how to use this software. And I want them to have already created this process. And I want them to already know about this specific retirement. Like before COVID, that was such a thing, right? But now, like, companies are scrambling for help. So with you already showing your dedication through your knowledge, you should be pretty good. Learning and development is huge. The biggest thing I want you to do is in that learning and development with your resume, and I said this on another live, but I'm gonna say it again. Um, with your resume, make sure that you take every interaction that matches the job description or the job posting for that HR manager position or the HR generalist position and put it out there. So in learning and development, a lot of HR generalists are required to work in the LMS and manage the training files and things of that nature. So you want to put that in there, right? You also want to put that your interactions with new hires because most times in learning and development, you have a ton of interaction with the employee in the beginning of the career to get them where they should be. So you also want to put out there how you've, experienced different things in the beginning of their career too. So look at that generalist application or that manager application, put that into your resume where you've done it as a learning and development manager, and you should be golden. But I will say this, if you're just like this is kind of your first time going into a generalist role, I would look for somewhere that's not really that big on generalist experience. So maybe like, and this is a tough one. I wouldn't ever go in this industry because it's just it does have a high turnover. But if you're just looking to get your foot wet, you ain't married to the organization, you just dating them, then I would go for a manufacturing organization. So look for manufacturing organizations. Look for um, also different recruiting agencies. A lot of times they will help you critique your resume because they already have an inside scoop from the hiring manager on exactly what they're looking for. So they'll sit down and tell you, okay, I know you only have learning and development experience, but as a journalist, they really only looking for this. The culture is this. This is what you're going to experience on a regular everyday basis. And so they'll help you like develop your resume. And if they don't help you, then they'll tell you everything. So you just update it yourself. Um, but you got one foot in because you have HR experience. Learning and development and training is a big part of human resources. So I would probably aim for the generalist jobs. If I didn't aim for generalist jobs, I would aim for business partner jobs because after you get that generalist and business partner experience in, then you're gonna be ready for management. Like the only thing you probably be missing is managing people, and a lot of times you're gonna manage people as a journalist or a business partner too, because you're gonna have like the coordinators under you, the assistants under you, the like I was about to say something else. The coordinators, the assistants, maybe even the receptionists and stuff like that. Even if you're not their direct report, you're gonna be channeling a lot of work to them. So you should be good. Did I answer your question, Andre? Was that helpful? Just put it in the chat if it was, y'all. We only got what? 7. Oh, my watch say 4 more minutes. So we got 4 more minutes because I'm hungry. I'm about to go eat. So if y'all got another question, y'all better throw it in this chat. Because I feel like I've been talking to myself. Y'all had some good questions though that were very thought provoking. And Andre, I just wish you much success on your career because getting into HR is not an easy task. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, you got another question? You're welcome. You're very, very welcome. But yes, I asked one. So that means you have another question for me? If you do, just toss it in there. Oh, hold on. This is a whole different person. Cardell. What's going on, Cardell? What's your question? Why is getting into HR so challenging? Good question. I wish I can figure that out because it's annoying. I personally, if you ask me just a personal thing, because I don't have any evidence or like data on this. Personally, I think getting into HR is difficult because the people that hire HR people don't know shit about HR. Let's be real. Like most times, if you're hiring into like a generalist role, a business partner role, or a manager role, or director role, or like those people that are hiring you probably didn't have your experience if there's not already a manager that's hiring this generalist. Because there's a lot of organizations where they don't have managers and they only have like a generalist, or they only have a business partner, or they only have a coordinator, and there's no HR manager to report into. So a lot of times they have the finance people that's doing that HR reports to. A lot of times they'll have like even a CEO, and these people don't know HR, so they don't know what they're looking for. So the bad thing about it is they look for people that have a ton of experience, so they ain't got to think about it. Bam, pick you. Their concerns are going to be so simple. Like when you go into interviews, if you have a ton of HR experience and you go and you get picked for a position, the hiring manager questions are so simple. It'll be like, so how do you recruit? You be sitting there spitting out stuff all day long. I go online, I go Indeed, I go to LinkedIn, I go to job fairs, I get into recruiting groups online. You be spitting answers all day because it's such a broad question. Me personally, I feel like that's why it's so hard for HR people to get in there. I will always look at the org chart and see if an HR person is hiring you. And then once you look at that HR, if they have the person's name there, a lot of times their name and information is on their website. If they do, look them up on LinkedIn and see what their experience is like. And if that's the case, then they're probably going to be able to see your transferable skills. But if you look on that org chart and HR reports to a CEO, a CFO, like, and you don't have any experience, I just go on with the next job and apply somewhere else. They don't know what they're looking for. Like, they just want you to come in and do the job. They want you to process applications. They want you to make sure you got everything ready for payroll. You're like, they don't know that, okay, somebody might come in with this FMLA thing at the same time that I got to close out this workers' comp. And at the same time, I got to tell my admin to make a copy of this file and redact this information and send it out to this attorney. Because as soon as I'm done with all of this, I need to start getting ready for all of these census reports that I'm sending out for open enrollment prep. Like, they don't know all of that stuff. That's why it's hard getting in HR. Them people don't know HR. You get in there, you be like, why am I, anyhow? I'm stop if I miss and say the wrong thing. Anybody got another question? Because I'm ready when y'all are. While y'all don't have a question, I'm gonna show y'all my shirt. I'm so excited about it, boss manager. So I'm not a boss, I'm not a manager, I'm a leader. Leaving a legacy. My brother has this clothing line, so look him up. I tagged him on my IG story today, so please look me up on IG and look in my story. You will find me tagging his shirt. He has great shirts. I love them. They have great quotes. And he has a whole like mission behind it. Okay, Cardell says that is a good explanation because a lot of HR graduates find it hard, like myself, especially when you're competing. Oh, it's such a competition. Networking. I don't even know how to tell you anymore. Like after 10 years of working in HR, I will tell you networking is key. I've seen, excuse me, because I'm about to be real clear. And it might come off harsh to some folks. I've seen some of the dumbest people get really good jobs and make a whole lot of money and don't know shit. Like, because they know somebody. Networking is huge. Like, me personally, I pride myself on my work. So and my integrity is not going to let me apply for something I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not going to feel right. But I've seen a lot of dumb people make a stupid amount of money and don't know shit. All right. So, that's a good explanation. Yeah. And so network heavy, and there are tons of places to network. I have another live on here, and I think that was my live from last week. It definitely was my live from last week. Somebody else was asking me that question, and I went over a list of ways that you can network. So since we only have, we out of time. I'm not going to go over that again, but go and check out that live because I listed a ton of ways to network. And I also have a video on my page that tells you about networking. Pay attention to that thing because I'm going to tell you, networking is huge. You don't even got to know the person. Like, get on LinkedIn. You don't even got to know them. They might just like your picture. Or they be like, oh, they went to the college that my cousin went to, and I had fun when I went there for a party. People will pick you out and like network with you for stupid reasons. With other degree person like humanities, I don't understand that part, Cardell. History. That's a good question because HR guys find it hard to myself when you are competing with other degree persons like humanities. Yeah, and for a long time there was no HR degree, no bachelor's degree in HR. That's why I don't have one And I'm not going back to school to get no bachelor's degree. When I went to get my master's degree is what like the first time I started seeing HR master's degrees pop up, and I'm so happy I did it. But I'm gonna tell you, like, if you work in HR, you really don't need a master's degree. Like now that they have bachelor's degree, you can knock that out there or get on the job experience and get your certification. Like your certification is going to make you have that continuous knowledge. And I totally did a whole video on HR degree versus certification. But when I went to go edit it, I had absolutely no sound. So if you follow me on IG, you already heard me talk about that and I was near tears. But I'll probably record that one tonight. That was kind of my plan. Just know it's coming out this month. It's on my content calendar. So I can talk about degree versus certification. And that will kind of help you if you don't have an HR degree. But also check out my videos about networking. And I might figure out a way to do another video to talk about like networking in the COVID world because so many things are like virtual. But look for your local SHRM, stuff like that, and you should be able to get in there. When I say SHRM, that's SHR. Well, you know, because you're certified. Um, SHRM. Do you think? Hey, Sarah. I wonder if this is Sarah. I know. Do you think it would be worth it to take a step or two down in title to get out of a toxic work environment? From like a manager to a coordinator. The role that is a step down would actually pay more. I ain't taking no step down. Once I don't work my way up, you ain't about to see me slipping back down. I feel like this. If it's toxic when I'm in a higher role, what makes it different when I go to a lower role? Like maybe that's a good one-on-one question for you and I because I just don't see how is it going to not be toxic. Now this person feel like they already win, or this environment or this situation feel like I already won. Unless you're in a department and that department is toxic, and now you're like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead to this department, but it's a lower um, pay pay title or a lower title than in this department. If you're in two different departments and it's literally the environment, like the office you're in, the people you're with, the person you report to, I probably would do it until I find something else because I'd probably be applying like a fool because I'm not. I'm just not a person who my grandmother always put this in my head and it just stuck. It just has stuck with me. I don't go backwards. She said, baby, don't go backwards. Once you leave, don't go backwards. So that's just how I feel about it. That's such a personal decision to be honest with you. Because you know that situation. I don't and my happiness is important and so is my peace. So if something look like it's interrupting my happiness or my peace, you can guarantee I'm getting the fuck up out of there. All right, I shouldn't have said that. They might not post my video. It would actually be a different company. I'm currently at a nonprofit, and this would be a different industry. Oh yeah, I would do it again temporarily. If it pays more, that's good. But whenever let's say you stay there for a while and you want to go somewhere else, the first thing, just remember, you want your resume to stand out because recruiters spend on average 6 to 7 seconds looking at resumes. So your resume has to stand out immediately. And if I'm looking at it and I'm zooming through this resume to see something that catch my eye, if I see you go backwards, I'm going to think that you weren't performing well in a higher position. And that's the reason you went to a lower position, even if it's a different company. So not everybody's going to have the time to bring you into an interview to get those details out of you. So you can look at getting skipped over because they'll be like, oh, well, she went to a lower position. Oh, okay, well, she can't do this because she couldn't do that. You know, they don't know that it's because it's a toxic work environment. So I would go to that other company, hang out there, make more money while I find another job that's going to give me the title and the money. My current role is a very admin heavy position, but they switched to a manager title 1.5 years ago. You know, and I hate companies that do that. Like they don't know how to manage the role. When they put you into this manager position, did they give you manager money? Because that's my first thing. Don't be changing my title unless you're giving me money. Especially if it's going to continue to be admin heavy. Like, I mean, I think that's the thing that kills me about like I was reading a study when I was in grad school about managers, and then it kind of fell over into my career world when they changed like how people what classifies someone as their status as salaried versus not salaried, and they had changed like the lowest amount of money you can pay them, and it floored me when I went to conferences and I'm watching presentations and hearing people talk about how they have like managers at McDonald's and oh well we wanted to keep them salary. You keeping them salary at $17 an hour, honey? I ain't signing on. Because that mean I'm gonna be stuck there all the time at $17 an hour. Like that salary better be worth my time. So they probably changed it. I think sometimes again, people who make these decisions don't know HR. No, I advocated for more pay based on my duties, and they said they couldn't give me more money, but switch my title instead. But let me ask you this: did they switch your pay status? Like your not your pay status, your pay grade. So I would have paid attention to that. It's water under the bridge now. But when they change that, if they change your pay status, I would ask them, can you give me the medium, minimum, medium, and midpoint? Minimum, median, and maximum for this new role because I need to know what's the pay scale, like how I get moved like this. You know, yeah. I mean, I would get the hell up out of this area because they're doing you wrong, girl. They increase the grade, but didn't increase the salary. Dirty. Were you at the top of your salary with that last title? Because that's probably what happened. If you were kind of what we call red line, then they are trying to look for a way to fix that without giving you more money. When in actuality, they could have just given you a quarterly bonus to make you equitable without changing anything else. Hey, Big D, y'all, Big D watch all my videos. Whenever I post, he jumps on, he likes, he watched the whole thing. He gives me tons of details, so I know he watched it. And we be laughing in these chats. I appreciate you coming on. What question you got for me? Okay, Cardell, isn't a master's degree good for an HR career, especially if you want to move up in a manager role? No, no. Don't waste your time getting a master's degree. If you're gonna get the master's degree, and I'm putting my glasses on because y'all moving, let's chat a little bit, so I gotta keep up with it. If you get a master's degree, I'm gonna be real with you, Carter. Let the job pay for it. If you ain't gonna see no job description that require one because they're not. We're just not there yet. Unless it's like VP of HR, Chief Human Resources Officer, you might see it then. But if I were you, I would get into that role and let them pay for my master's degree. It's not necessary. I got a double master's degree. I love having it because it gives me a lot of information I wouldn't normally have. But if I had to do it all over again, I would have went for the certification and let my job pay for my master's degree. I asked for the midpoint last month, but they still claim it's too high. How long have you been there? No, I haven't always been near the bottom. I need to get to a new. Yes, Sarah, we on the same thing, girl. Get up out of there. Get up out of there. Don't let them trick you. If I were you, I would get like an Excel sheet, and I wish I can remember. It's like Millennial Girl's Diary. She is on YouTube, and she has a video that she literally just posted like over the weekend. And she has templates on how you can journal your duties so that you can request more money during your performance eval. I mean, even if you don't have a template, grab a notebook, put the dates, and when you do big jobs, and anybody should do this for their performance reviews. Always make sure y'all keep a journal of the big things y'all accomplished over the year. So whatever new projects you did, whatever new initiatives you did, whatever great results you got, make sure that you keep up with that because that's your way to ask for more money at the end of the year. And especially when they do changes like they did on Sarah. Like get out of this, Sarah. Apply like a fool, girl. Get on Indeed, get on LinkedIn, get on now those are my two favorites. When I get out of those two, then I just go to the company website because I know companies that I would like to work to or companies I enjoy when I interact with them. So I go to their website and look. So if I'm you, I get out there and just apply 5 jobs a week, start off there. That don't work, 5 jobs a day. Keep it moving. I have a liberal arts undergrad. Hey, Enrique. I can't do the double R, so I'm not going to call your last name. But hey, Enrique, I have a liberal arts undergrad degree, and I'm wondering if I should get my master's degree in HR MBA. Oh, Enrique, you must have just got on because I was just telling Cardell, let that job pay for that master's degree. You don't need the master's degree to get an HR job, especially if you're going into an entry level position. What they would prefer you have and what stands out more is a certification because your certification, you're required to stay up on laws, regulations, and different changes constantly. Like you're constantly staying up with that information. So you're constantly getting new information and stuff like that. But a master's degree, what you learn at that time is what you learn. Once you finish that degree, if you don't decide to continue keeping up with that knowledge, you don't have to, but to keep your certification, you do. So I wouldn't worry about a master's degree right now. I have a liberal arts degree, that I got from a liberal arts school, College of Charleston. I have a bachelor's in philosophy. And when I started my first HR job, I was working on my master's degree. And that was only because I wanted to get an MBA. my whole story was crazy. So I might do a video on my whole mix up. But I thought that I wanted to be a doctor, and then I had my daughter, and then I was a survivor of domestic violence, and so I jumped into other stuff. And I didn't like nursing school, so I was like, okay, let me go to nursing school. Didn't like it, so I was like, okay, cool. My sister talked me into going to grad school. I was like, okay, I'll just get an MBA because that's general, and fell in love with HR. So I wouldn't be working on a master's degree right now. I probably would be working on networking. And I actually would also see any volunteer opportunities you can do, or like internships or what have you. There are quite a few of them out there. Big companies are doing it. Um, so I am currently a on short-term disability because of a surgery. Did you watch my video on my foot surgery? I was on short-term disability myself. I just got off. I ended up going into long-term disability. But anyhow, I am 99% certain I will be offered a new job. When should I turn in my notice? Hey girl, hey. No. I'm telling you from personal experience. I knew I was leaving the last job I was leaving. I was happy they terminated me because we made a great agreement that worked out for me. But I will tell you that what you're going to do is wait until you get that final date to return to work, right? When you get that final date to return, your first day back into work, get them your notice. Bam, I'm out. I'm in and I'm out. Because that way you get all of your disability benefits. Once you get all of your disability benefits, then you still get your PTO for giving them a good notice. You don't want to mess around and give them a notice 2 weeks before, and then they'd be like, or two before you return, and then they'd be like, well, we didn't really need you, or something like that. No, get in there and make sure you rack up all your benefits. Make sure you get all your short term. You don't want your short term disability to get cut off or anything like that. So, wait till you get back to work. If you want, now I would say you can say, okay, I'm going to give it my. If you trust your company, if you feel confident that they're not going to terminate you, and you got to give a 2 week or a month notice, then I would give it a 2 weeks or a month before I'm supposed to return back to work. Wait on your doctor's note to say when you're supposed to go back to work. Make your decision based on that. But don't be running to tell them now. I wouldn't. I mean, unless you're trying to start the other job now. Are you trying to, Big D, you trying to start the other job like while you on disability? Help me out. If you're trying to start the other job while you're on disability, now that gives, I got to give you a whole nother answer. So let me know. All right. Enrique, thank you for the information. Love your videos. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yay. I'm trying to get better at this thing. I'm so new to this, but I'm true to it right now. What is your view of the ideal number of HR persons required in an organization? For example, an organization with 150 employees. There's a ratio. When you get up to like 100, then you should have like a two-person staff office. So and they're not going to be on the same level. So you might have like somebody that can think strategically, like a manager or a director, and then you'll have like a coordinator or assistant. But I would say, I don't know the exact numbers, but I will tell you that anywhere up to like 350, I would do two people. But it also depends on the type of industry. Sometimes if you work for a local government, shoot, you can do up to 1,000 and only have two people and be fine because there's not a ton of activity. But if you're working at manufacturing, you're probably gonna have like, for those 500 people, you will have like 500 for those 500 people, you'll have 5 HR people. But I would think that the ratio is around 100 roughly. I'd like to look that up and see. That's a great question. I feel so bad I didn't have a better answer for you, Cardell. I was thinking that and this, we back to Big D. I was planning to give them my notice on day one back. There you go. See, Big D, you watch enough of my videos, man. Come on. I didn't say it in my videos when I was on medical leave because I was still there. But I'm gonna throw it out there now. And I don't mind even saying it. I was gonna get in my notice my first day back. That's how easy that was about to be. Okay, so you're not trying to start the other job. Okay, then if you're not trying to start the other job right now, Big D, don't give them a notice. Ride that notice out, then give them a notice. All right. So Cardell, also, does all areas of HR pay equally, or does some areas pay more? Also, which area is your favorite and why? So some pay more. And I would say, obviously, your leadership positions are going to pay more. Secondly, like your journalists and your partner positions are going to pay more than your coordinators or your assistants, right? But your recruiters, if they're working for an agency and not an organization, don't do recruitment in like an organization because you're going to get one salary. Oh my gosh, I forgot I was recording myself all the time. Okay. But don't forget, like, do not do recruiting in an organization. Do recruiting for a staffing agency because they will automatically pay you per hire if that's a contract person or a full-time person. So I know quite a few people who started at like $60,000 a year, and at the end of the year, they went home with $120,000 over that year because they got monthly, weekly, quarterly bonuses for the number of hires that they brought in. So start there, but you won't learn all things HR. Just know you only gonna know how to bring them on in there. You're not gonna learn all the other stuff, but that's where you'll probably make good money as an entry level person. Once you get experience, then obviously you want to do like your manager, director, or what have you. So, which area of HR is my favorite? So, I always used to say that benefits was my favorite. Like, you just couldn't take me away from benefits. I like benefits because I used to always, and I still do love benefits. I used to always say that at the end of the day, I love it when I can help an employee and they feel like, or they see that the company is giving back to them. Like, we always thinking, oh man, the company just want me to come and work and da da da. And I learned to love it back when we had a firefighter. She was a female and she had two medical leaves for having babies in the same benefit year. Crazy as that was. And it was difficult. That was a challenging benefit to navigate. And I could just see the stress relief off of her as I help her manage that benefit. So I like benefits. I also like it that now benefits are so flexible. Benefits isn't just medical, dental, vision, da da da. Now vision is like paying for part of your internet, paying for your gym membership. Sorry, y'all. Riley's snoring. Stop. Paying for medical benefits, paying for paying for gym memberships, paying for your cell phone, paying for your internet, giving you a company credit card so you can buy like things for your office if you ever need to. Obviously, it's for traveling. It also is like conferences. Going out to conferences are super duper expensive. If you find a company that's willing to send you out to them, then I definitely would look at that as like a form of compensation because you're going to get per diem money as you travel too. So like I absolutely love benefits. Now, I always just say I wouldn't touch payroll and recruiting, but now that I've touched it, I'm like, I'm good in every way. I don't like payroll. Y'all still ain't gonna catch me doing a payroll job. And I've never done an analyst job, and so I'm thinking about that. I was thinking about compensation analysts for a while. Now, compensation analysts make money too, but I will tell you this: they're the first to go if the organization goes down. So compensation analysts, they can easily walk in and make comfortable money. Almost any analyst position in HR, they make comfortable money because analysts are normally at bigger companies. And so they're looking at this person who's going to help them save money over time. So analysts make a lot of money too. Y'all going fast on my plane, nothing wrong with it. But don't forget, I'm hungry. I'm about to get off this thing. I said I was going to be off at 7:30. All right. Big D, I was planning to be fully released before I start the new job, and they are totally okay with it. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, just be fully released. And then that way, I mean, not that your new job would even though you're on medical leave, but if you brought it up, you'd have a clearance that you can work. So yeah. Oh, I know how to pronounce your name. You were on the last live. Aileen. Aileen, hi Aileen, how you doing, girl? Hey, girl, hey. What's good? How you doing? I can't remember your questions the last time, but I hope all is well. I hope I was able to help you the last time. But I'm so happy to see you back on. Thank you. Big D, I got you rolling again. I'm sorry. I told you it's just me. You told me to be me. You told me to be me. Payroll is not me either. Melissa, what's going on, girl? Weren't you on before too? Yeah, I'm so happy you're back on. Y'all, I don't like payroll because at the end of the day, I don't mess up nobody's paycheck. And what's so call me selfish? I won't mess up my paycheck. I gotta make sure I get paid. So y'all ain't gonna catch me doing payroll, but I will do recruiting. I did a lot of recruiting at the last organization. But I will tell you this: my stipulation on doing recruiting, heavy level recruiting. Now I'll do post some jobs, post some applicants, do some interviews. I'll do that kind of recruiting, even analyze some data. But if you want me to go out here to like career fairs or go on multiple sites or but my last job, I did a lot of like presentations to educate folks about our organization so that I can give them a career advice to move into our organization. I created like shadowing programs to kind of give them the prep work so that they can start in our organization. Now, I only gonna do that if I believe in the organization, if I believe I'm telling the truth, because recruiters will lie. They're like car salesmen. They just want you to take the job so they can make their money and get their commission. I ain't about that life. Like, I don't want you coming back to me and being like, Tamika, you had told me I was gonna love it here and I hate it. I ain't that kind of girl. So I don't like recruiting all that much. If I don't work for a company that I love, I'm not gonna do recruiting. If I work for a company that I believe in what you're doing, I believe in your mission, I believe in you having a good culture, I believe that you have great benefits for your organization, y'all gonna catch me wide open recruiting. I'll recruit all over the world. But and that you're gonna pay me per hire. Because I done did that where you just pay me one salary. They got over on me. They got over on me. It ain't happening again. One time, you fool. Okay, I'm currently studying for a PHR and I've scheduled to test in mid-September. Woo! Yay! I have been job hunting for about a month, but I'm wondering if I should hold off until I hopefully pass and receive my certification. Girl, no. Apply like a fool. What the hell you gonna stop? You still gotta make money, don't you? Unless you got a good husband, like he pay all the bills. If he tell you, let your husband make that decision. But I'm a single mama up in here. I need my coins. I'm going to keep on working while I'm studying. And it's so possible. I was just in an HR study group, and I hope that you're in it too, on Facebook, and it's called like HR SHRM exam study group. And someone just posted that she is a mom and she literally studied on the weekends for 3 months. And she had two toddlers and she passed. It's possible. You just got to plan your time. You got to make a plan and stick to it. You can totally like look for a job at the same time and work while you're working on your certification. Like, let's be real. If you're not working, are you really gonna be like studying for 80 hours, 40 hours a week? No, you're gonna have burnout. Like you're gonna lose your mind. Like you're gonna get tired. So I would continue to like keep applying and stuff. Um, People will hire you while you're working on it. You can put um in a cover letter and say, hey, currently working on this. I plan to achieve it by this time, working on my PHR. Like you must have some type of experience if you qualified to test for the PHR. I did 1 year in payroll and I was out. Girl, you better than me. You did a whole year. Now I'll tell you what payroll changes I need to make. So if we have open enrollment with benefit changes or whatever like that, I'll do that kind of stuff. If we have somebody, qualify an event, if we have PTO changes going on, 401k changes going on, I'll do that kind of stuff. But to run the payroll, like do the pay run, nah, that ain't me. Y'all going fast for me now. Okay, I'm trying to catch up with y'all. Give me just a second. April, are you on here? Hey, TC. I don't even look over here. Oh, got quite a few people over here. Hey, Jojo. Hey, cuz. I just want to say hi. And I'm going to have to link up with you. All right, girl. All right. Okay, I can't see no more. But let me get back to my people on YouTube. I'm happy y'all on here, but y'all can come on YouTube if y'all want. That's where the party at, on YouTube. Okay. Sarah, I'm currently studying for the HR. Okay. Oh, Big D. Big D, yeah, Big D is studying for the PHR exam. So I wonder what make y'all do HRCI versus SHRM. Just wondering. Good luck with the exam for real. Tell her, Andre. She got this. We ain't even good luck. It's congratulations. She got this. Okay, I'm doing November. Would you recommend I wait until I'm out of FMLA to continue applying for jobs? Oh, you having a baby, girl? We got the Pregnancy Discrimination Act. You fine, going to work. They can't like not hire you because you're pregnant. Now, mind you, people will discriminate and you don't know. So wear a blazer, wear a dress, whatever. Take your behind to work. Just be prepared that you might not get short-term disability benefits when you have the baby. And that you might not have job security because you probably wouldn't qualify for FMLA at your new job or whatever, if I'm answering that correctly. But you got the Pregnancy Discrimination Act. They cannot hire you because you bringing life into the world. Like, stop the bullshit. Now I'll tell you, I did that one time and the girl in her third trimester. Chick walking the door and I was like, who are you? And I didn't even see her. That's why you don't send that's why you don't send men out to do interviews. They come back, I'm like, how the hell y'all ain't see this girl like 7 months pregnant? Okay, and we did a slow ass hiring process. That's why I always tell hiring managers like interview them, get them in the door. Cause ain't nothing you can do once you're not offering a job. Good luck with the exam. Okay. Cardell, what is your view of getting an HR degree and a digital business master's degree? Would that make me more flexible and attractive to employers? If you're seeking an HR job, get an HR degree. Everybody don't need your digital business degree. So you really like narrowing your options with the digital business master's degree, I would go for the HR degree. You can work for any organization. You don't need one that need like all this heavy level digital experience. Haha, I'm single, so the decision is all mine. I'm currently employed full time and then applying for different jobs and studying at the same time. Whoa, Sarah, you got this. You sound like me. We hustlers. We can do this. Good luck with Big D. We got this. Yes, yes. Sit down and meditate on it though. Sit down and make a schedule and try it out for a little while and see how you feel about your schedule, Sarah. And if you feel like it's not overwhelming, then continue, keep moving. I'm so happy I pushed and did it. Like when I did it, it was a lot to do at the time, but I felt so achieved afterwards. I plan to pass the PHR and then look at the SHRM CP a few months later. Big D, I don't know if you watched my video on HRCI versus SHRM, but I don't think HRCI is sticking around. I'm surprised they're around this long. But um, I think that you taking one or the other, your success rate is even better because you've had that experience. The questions aren't going to be exactly the same, but the material is the same. So you got this. You got this. Um, Aileen, you're welcome. I have the exact same plan as Big D. I wish Sherm had their testing open year round like HRCI so I could take them closer together and knock them both out. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Now, if my plan was to take them back to back, but I didn't. Because I didn't have the money. Like, I was surprised that I had friends that paid for mine that, like, I didn't have the money. Sarah, we sure do. By the way, there's an app called Pocket Prep. Ooh, that I've downloaded, and the paid version has a pass guarantee. Man, Big D, keep me posted on how that goes. Because, I'm going to steal a little video idea. You're about to make me put that in my brain dump. Pocket. Let me just put it on a sticky note real quick so I don't forget to look that up. And it helps you pass the test, huh? Pocket prep. All right. Is that only for HR exams or like all exams? That sounds like a little cheat sheet. Well, for studying, because obviously you're gonna be able to take anything into the exam or when you're being proctored online. Who does as you move up to the career ladder in HR, the senior level person lead the organization? Carter, help me out. I don't understand the question. You got this, Big D. You watch my videos, so you got this. Why? Why? Where I live, HR director turns over is high. Where do you live? What in all industries? Quizlet is a good resource too, and it's free. All right, y'all. Y'all about to make me spit out another video. Keep going. I love the app. The free version has 50 questions. Free 50. And the paid version has 1,200 questions. Oh, how much is the paid version? Just wondering. I probably can look it up, so you don't have to tell me. I'm sorry. I should just look it up. I've heard good things about Pocket Prep and Facebook group I'm in, and I plan on getting the paid version close to my exam after I cover all the material. That's good. And y'all know what? If y'all are working for someplace, Sarah, I think you said you're not currently working, but if y'all working for someplace, y'all know education reimbursement includes all forms of getting that education. Most times, look at your policy, look at your company policy in your handbook. But most times, like it includes like full-fledged education reimbursement. So you can get paid for your study materials, you can get paid for these apps, reimbursed for them. Just know that most times the companies require that you stay employed for a period of time. Y'all, I'm about to get off because my best friend is making us tacos tonight, and I promised her I would be there by 8. The paid version is $48 for 3 months. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I mean, you should be able to handle that, but I definitely still throw in that expense sheet. I need my $48 back. I throw in every mileage I drive on people. Okay. So Cardell, as you move up to the senior level HR roles, does politics affect your job security and organization? For me, I would say no. That's why I look for a culture fit. Because politics is heavy in HR. Heavy AIF. Make sure my video get posted. Let me stop using these heavy words. But politics is heavy in any way, especially the more you get into a corporate environment. Like if you just working like somewhere that's not as corporate, you're safe. But you get in these corporate environments where they're shooting through, you managing $1.5 million in benefits a year, or $3 million in benefits a year or more than that. Like, it gets so political because there's so much money people looking at getting the best for them. But I would say that it wouldn't, as long as you look for a culture fit. Politics is going to be heavy in HR, but it shouldn't affect any department if you're in a good place. Exam Edge is a cause. Exam Edge 2. All right. I'm going to have another video on y'all ass. $80 for 5 full-length exams. Wow. They got all kind of stuff that they did not have when I studied for this thing. And that was just a couple years. Well, yeah, a few years ago. Alrighty. Taco Thursday, that's what's up. We couldn't get in on Tuesday. I was busy. No, we just picked up the tacos. Culture means everything to me. Oh, it's huge. It's huge. I interview these companies just as well as they interview me. Like, I want to know, can you tell me what's a typical life like in this position? Can you tell me why this position is, what made this position vacant? Can you tell me some of the everyday hurdles that the HR department face? Can you tell me some of the things that you do for your employees on a regular basis, like for holidays or what have you, like that? All that stuff on Tell You Culture and LinkedIn. If they constantly posting that they celebrated somebody's birthday, somebody's anniversary, they celebrating Taco Tuesday their damn self, or they celebrating Cinco de Mayo and everybody's dressed up in the office or whatever, they got a good culture. But if you looking and all they can talk about is making money, you probably won't work there. Alrighty. Great session, T. Glad I jumped on. Have a good evening. Me too. I'm happy you came on. I'm so happy you came on. And again, thank you so much. Like, I'm not sure if all of you guys are like Big D because he comments, so that's why I know he watches. Like, if y'all just hit like and y'all watch it, I don't know who watched it. But if you comment, then I know it's you. And he comments every time, and I just love it. So definitely, y'all hit me up with them comments, and I'll know that y'all are watching too. I know that all of you guys must like me in some type of way, like my channel in some type of way, because you've seen the alert. And I thank you so much for being on and for being so active in this chat. Andre, you're so welcome for the advice. Y'all, I appreciate it. Like, seriously. Seriously. I was totally terrified of lives because I thought I'd be sitting on here talking to the computer and no one's on here. So I definitely appreciate y'all being on here. Just know that I'm hungry. My girlfriend's probably going to call me being really upset because I haven't gotten over there yet. And so definitely check me out next Thursday on YouTube. I only pop on to this live, onto IG live, so that y'all can know to pop onto YouTube. But my whole focus is YouTube. I'm probably stop popping this thing up. So definitely come back, Andre, Big D, Sarah, Yenny. I'm trying to think of the other names. Cardell. All of y'all. I really appreciate y'all coming on. And I thank y'all so much. I'm going to get off of here. But if you missed any parts of it, John, if y'all missed any parts of it, I'll definitely have it posted for you guys. Have a good night.